Welcome in, college football camp fans. I do apologize for not having a show this morning. We were feeling a little under the weather, along with, just some other things happening. Welcome into this halftime show. This week, I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Mr. Sean Stewart. Sean, how we doing this morning?
We're doing great, man. I'm happy that my Wolverines is winning.
I was gonna say you're nothing but smiles over there. Michigan's leading 20-0 at halftime right now. How do you feel about that?
I feel, the funny thing is, before the game even started, as Michigan fans, we were worried because of Iowa's defense, and we haven't beaten Iowa at Iowa since 2005. That was when I was a freshman year, and then like halftime, they put out a stat. They were saying like Iowa had like 85 yards in the first half. That really shocked me. Like,
as of right now, Iowa has 98 total yards offense.
Okay.
So it hasn't gotten any better. Let's see. Right now, it looks like Michigan has the ball on their own 19, first and 10. Excuse me. Now they're on their – so Iowa's got the ball – Michigan's got the ball back. It looks like they're able to control this game and get out of Iowa. The one thing I love about Iowa, if they don't have your favorite tradition, you're lying. The wave at the end of the first quarter has got to be – I get very emotional watching that. I grew up in and out of hospitals having all the surgeries that I had. So I love seeing them honor the kids like that.
Right. Same here.
So that is that's something that I look forward to anytime I watch an Iowa game. I have my laptop, a small TV, and a big TV. I muted both of my TVs and turned my laptop sound up just to watch the wave at Iowa. That is how much I absolutely love the wave at Kinnick. So we're going to be seeing how that, if Iowa figures out some offense. If last week was Survive, then this week is Survive 2.0. And poor Oklahoma, after losing to Kansas State last week, has not survived. TCU is up 41-17 at half on Oklahoma. With about 3 minutes left in the third, and right before the half, Dylan Gabriel slid, took a nasty hit. He's been taken back to the locker room. So prayers up for Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
I'm going to read you this stat, and I want you to tell me how believable this is. Total yards, 479 to 223. TCU has 479. 479. Yards of total offense in one half.
That is unbelievable.
Remember whenever I said, Brett Venables was going to fix that defense?
You did.
Where is the defense?
That looks.
Where is the defense? 281 through the air, 198 on the ground, and TCU's only committed 3 penalties. This game, TCU got out to a fast start and never looked back. They were up 20-3. Before you look, it was 27-10 at the end of the first quarter. So TCU has taken over this game and just ran with it.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how this Oklahoma offense looks after halftime. Again, prayers up for Dylan Gabriel. With all the head injuries going on right now, that is priority number one, is making sure he's okay. We saw that in the Thursday night game with Tua. He has to be right before he can play again.
Correct.
So prayers up for Dylan Gabriel in that game. This game just started off in the third. We're halfway through the third quarter. And Kentucky tied it up coming out of half. It's Ole Miss and Kentucky. It's tied at 19. This kind of got off to a slow start. Kentucky got a safety, or Ole Miss got a safety. It's just kind of been. It's not been the game I think people expected. Kentucky has 201 yard offense, and it just looks like a bunch of dink and duck with 11 for 14. They have 95 yards rushing. Ole Miss came in as one of the leading teams rushing the ball. And to nobody's surprise, they have 152 yards rushing.
Right.
So I'm interested to see. We're going to learn a lot about both of these teams. And I'm going to take a shot, and how I feel about this. If it wasn't for Georgia Tech, Ole Miss schedule would have been just as soft as Michigan's. And then Kentucky has the Florida win. So we'll see kind of what we learned about these teams. So have you guys been able to catch any of that game, or you been on that Michigan game?
I've been on that Iowa and Michigan game all day.
I don't know why, because you knew it was over already.
Exactly.
The next game we're going to talk about is Kansas State coming off that win against Oklahoma, is up 20-13. Offense has been pretty. Numbers are the same, but Kansas State has run for 189 on that Texas Tech defense. Texas Tech has a good Texas win, has a good Houston win, which Houston lost to Tulane last night, so I'm not sure how good that win looks. So we're going to kind of see how Kansas State continues to respond for that. They're averaging 8.6 yards per rush. So Texas Tech needs to get some guys down in that box and clean up that rush defense. And Matt, exactly as Matt said, that hit on Gabriel was absolutely dirty. If you have not seen that, go look at it. I don't know if it was targeting, but it was definitely a late hit.
I have definitely got to see that video.
I think they called it targeting because he lunged at him as he was going down. Like he was sliding when he got hit. So he was already down. So it was just one of those that's probably going to feel as dirty as it looks.
Oh.
And as we're talking about it, Texas Tech has now just scored and tied the game. So it's now 20-20. And I think they're playing in Lubbock. No, that game's in Manhattan, Kansas. So Texas Tech has tied that game up on the road. It's now tied 20-20. The last game I want to talk about, I don't know how people are actually watching this game. It's on ESPN2 right now. Is Purdue and Minnesota.
I'm watching the game right now.
There are 5 total turnovers in the first half. Mo Ibrahim for Minnesota has not played yet. Apparently late in the game last week against Michigan State, he sprained his ankle. And Minnesota's offense, who was second in rushing behind Air Force, has not looked the same this year. So I was very disappointed to see, Tanner Morgan. Sorry, I can't think of what his name was. Tanner Morgan looked kind of sloppy in that first half. Purdue has thrown the ball around just like you thought they would. Basically, Minnesota's dropping back and playing cover 2, and Purdue's still not being able to run the ball.
Yikes. That's kind of a sloppy game right there.
It is. Like I said, there's 5 in the first half. Purdue has 164 yards of offense. Minnesota has 34 yards of rushing, and then they were the second-ranked rushing team coming into the game.
Wow.
So, but Utah, Oregon State just kicked off. That Oregon State just tied that game up. It's now 7-7. We are on Kansas watch over here on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Kansas is 4-0. Ole Miss just made a field goal. It's 22-19.
Okay.
We're on Kansas watch. Kansas plays Iowa State at 3:30. So get your college football in. Everybody's kind of starting conference play. So now you're about to find out what these teams are really made of.
Yep.
Get back to your Michigan and why you're watching that game. I have zero idea whatsoever because Iowa has no offense.
Now I'm watching something else.
What you got on now?
I got Minnesota and Purdue.
Yep, that's on my big TV right now. So, anything you want to add before we get out of here on this quick kind of halftime update?
Well, as of right now, I gotta say it looks like it's over for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I definitely think after last week you lost to Kansas State. You're probably going to get blown out by TCU. You average almost 500 yards at half. It definitely doesn't look good. So, all right, guys. Oklahoma. Well, if we get some more interesting games, we might come back and do this again here in a little bit.
All right.
Y'all guys have a great day. Enjoy your college football.
All right.